This time on Lesbians in Space.
Power of one, the power of two, the power of many.
Okay, sizzling! Okay, sizzling! Okay, sizzling!
All right, I'm gonna go and make this review as quick as possible because it is absolutely lore-breaking and boring at the same time. And this episode is literally everything that Alan Ng and Chris Gore said it was going to be. The entire episode is a flashback to when Osha and May are children, and it's the night that they are supposed to go and ascend to become witches. But the Jedi show up and throw a spanner into the works and everything gets mucked up. And here we are introduced to the dichotomy of the twins. May wants to go and ascend and become a witch, where Osha does not, and for whatever reason, she wants to become a Jedi. Other than the fact that she keeps repeating it over and over again, we really aren't given a motivation as to why May wants to become a Jedi. For her entire life, she's lived on this planet secluded from the rest of the galaxy, so how she even knows what the Jedi are is not explained. Then the Jedi show up and demand to test the children for Force sensitivity, where the witches reluctantly agree. The witches then go and devise a plan to lie to the Jedi about the Force sensitivity of the children. Osha reluctantly agrees to go along with it, but ultimately is found out and confesses that she is actually lying to the Jedi. The Jedi ask Osha what she wants, and she tells them that she does want to go and join the Order. And again, her motivations are not explained. The Jedi also go and ask who the father of May and Osha is, and the Witchers are like, there's no father.
Okay, sizzling!
And it's kind of apparent because there's absolutely no men on this planet whatsoever. The only thing I can think of is that this serves to go and diminish what happened with Anakin, despite the fact that I think the whole forced virgin birth thing is just absolutely retarded. I hated it in The Phantom Menace, and I still hate it now. It's dumb. But this is Lesbians in Space, and they need no man, but maybe a shitload of space U-Hauls. Anyway, May gets really pissed that Osha wants to become a Jedi and then goes and tries to promptly kill her. You know, just like any sane person would try and do. So she goes and takes Osha's book and then takes a space lantern and lights it on fire. And the next thing you know, the all-stone building which they're in erupts into flames, as stone often does. Now it's not shown, but it is implied that May went and lit the door on fire, which is also made of metal and highly combustible. Now, I'm going to go and press X to doubt that May is the one who is responsible for this, and I think what they're actually trying to do is set up the Jedi to be the bad guys. I said this in my initial review. Because after all, this is nothing more than an attempt to go and tear down everything that came before it. Osha and May go and confront one another on this bridge, but the bridge gets damaged and goes and collapses. But it's okay, because Jedi Master Squid Games goes and saves Osha. And this is the reason why Saul believes that May is dead, because the bridge collapsed and she falls with it, but she manages to survive. It's also revealed that all of the witches of the coven are dead, and it's not really clear why, because you think that if they died in the fire, the bodies would be charred. But no, they're all just kind of laying on the ground in a giant pile. Now this could mean either one of two things. The Jedi went and killed all the witches, or they just didn't have enough production budget to make the bodies look like they were charred. Either which way, it's stupid. The Jedi go and leave with Osha, and nobody lives happily ever after. Because that's the whole point of these shows, to be miserable. All right, let's move on and talk about the reactions coming from the Access Media. This is coming from Polygon. The Acolyte reopens a Star Wars debate. Are the Jedi kidnapping kids into a cult? Okay, first off, I want to point out that this was a fucking joke made by Star Wars fans and maybe people who are criticizing Star Wars at the same time. This was never meant to be real or canon. It was a joke. Just like the space janitor. The fact that this is being memed into existence just shows you how retarded everything is getting. We also have this article from IGN. I'm not going to cover the whole thing. I just want to cover this section. How the Acolyte connects to The Last Jedi. One of the many issues with The Last Jedi is that they attempted to go and democratize the Force. That everybody has the potential to go and use it. And if everybody has the potential to go and use the Force, it just makes it not special. This totally goes and diminishes the idea of having aptitude and ability for something, which is not the case. Some people are more skilled in certain things than others. Some people are better athletes than other people. Some people are just smarter than other people. That's just the reality. We're all different. We all have different attributes, different abilities, and different skills. And that's fine. And we have this article coming from Forbes, which I have to say is actually pretty base. One of the most disappointing Star Wars episodes ever made, which is absolutely true. The other thing, too, that Eric does in this article is he basically calls out other outlets for praising the show. IGN says that the episode offers up a lot of tantalizing new layers to how we perceive both the Jedi and the Force. And I would like to know if we use two different versions of the word tantalizing. Personally, I think garbage is a more accurate word. So the question is this actually the worst episode of Star Wars ever created? And I guess it depends on what your perspective is. From a lore-breaking standpoint, yes, it is absolutely the worst thing that has been put out by Disney so far. And the reason why is because it goes and takes everything that came before it and it goes and diminishes it. And this is what Disney does. They have done this to every single property that they've gone and purchased, be it Marvel or Star Wars. These characters that you love so much, well, they were never great to begin with. That thing called the Force, it's not what you think it is. Screw George Lucas and his ideas and views on the Force. It is very apparent that Disney doesn't understand these characters and doesn't understand Star Wars. Or maybe they do and they're just absolutely trying to subvert it. After all, we know that they hate the original fans and they've been trying to chase them off for the better part of a decade, and they just might actually succeed with this episode. Anyway, folks, these are my thoughts on episode 3 of The Acolyte. What are yours? Leave a comment down below. Hit that like button if you enjoyed the video, and if you really enjoyed the video, go and subscribe to the channel. Popping up right about now should be my episode 1 review. What happened to episode 2? Nobody fucking cares. Anyway, folks, I'll catch you next time.